So, good evening. I cannot believe we are nearly at the end of the year. Yes, we are nearly at the end of 2025. And I've spoken a lot recently about Christmas and all sorts of things. But of course, when we get to the end of the year, we tend to reflect, how was the year? Was it a good year? Was it a bad year? Was it an indifferent year? And I'm sure there's been many good moments, many bad moments, but you've made it to the end of this point, and that's the main thing. We've got here and we're all stronger for it. And I thought this period of reflection was important for me because I've done ultra marathons raising money for charity this year. Super proud moments for myself, changed jobs, all those different things. Most importantly, of course, I've kept this channel going. The whole point of this was, when I was doing this, it was to do videos for young adults with learning difficulties so they could follow my journey as I was raising money for the charity that they were a part of. So what I wanted to do today is I want to do a bit of a reaction video. So obviously, when I finished the ultra marathon, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the channel. Obviously, I wanted to keep up the fitness element of it, and obviously fragrances is another hobby of mine. And on the 6th of July, I did my very first fitness fragrance review. They've been the most popular videos, and I thought I'd look back at that one today, and we do a sort of watch along, a bit of a reaction video. Now, I'm no expert with technology, so today we're going very, very basic until I get used to the software. I'm going to turn my phone around, we're going to watch it on the screen together, and I'm going to react to it. What was the fragrance I reviewed that day? It was this one. It was Oud 24 Hours on the 6th of July. That was when I did my very first fitness fragrance review. Got a bit of a problem with it at the moment. I broke the lid doing the lid test video. If anyone's not seen that one, essentially I put the lids, I dropped them out of a window, and yeah, as you can see, it's broken. But we're gonna watch back essentially this video today. How did my review on that one go? And yeah, what was my overall score for this fragrance? How different are my fitness fragrance reviews to what they used to be? Let's get on with it. So we've got the video up. I said, smell like Tom Ford Black Orchid. So yeah, if you don't know this fragrance, Oud 24 Hours, it's very well known. It's one of the Middle Eastern fragrances. And yeah, it just smells like Black Orchid. It's a great clone. And actually, when you buy this on eBay, you can get like a deodorant. They give you a little deodorant in it as well. £15. It smells well above that. So yeah, can't remember. I do remember doing this run, but of course I didn't really go with any plan at the time. Now I've got a bit of a routine with these. It'd be interested to see if there's anything different. First thing I've noticed, I've got a different coat on and I'm wearing different glasses. So yeah, small things you pick up, don't you? Really? I'm boring. I hope you got the popcorn ready. I'm sure it's going to get more exciting as we go along. Probably not. That hasn't changed. So hello there. What you would have just seen is myself. Well, I don't think now I ever start in a shirt. I don't know if I've ever done that. I don't remember doing this. Did I run in a shirt? No, I didn't. But maybe I filmed this bit after. Spraying before a run. This fragrance here, Ardell Zaffaran, Oud 24 Hours. If you didn't see my video yesterday, essentially I got ChatGPT. I look very serious there, don't I? I was a little bit nervous in front of the camera at the time, I think. This one based on the 10 questions I asked it. And this. Why is it frozen? Well, that's not a good start. That didn't happen in the video. We're back. So essentially, I've been on a bit of a journey today. My usual routine, for those of you that have seen these videos before, go for a run, and then walk to the gym, do my gym workout, and then I walk home. And ultimately, it's now nearly 1 in the afternoon. I've done 18 miles exercise today. 18 miles. And every step of the way, whatever I've been wearing during my exercise, during my workouts, it's been on the skin and on my clothing. So yeah, I really wanted to give it a full. I'm so serious, aren't I? Price, versatility, it's projection, longevity. Need to smile more. Just overall confidence. I haven't got that bad teeth. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go all the way back, and we'll come back in the room later on. But I've filmed the journey today. I don't remember doing it like this. Share some of the scores, and then we'll give an overall verdict whether you should buy Ardell Zaffaran Oud 24 Hours. Enjoy. I did do a bit of a note breakdown. See, I don't even remember doing that. See, I started to change it. I'm going to pause it quickly. Pause. See, I started to change it in recent times. Obviously, at the time here, I was putting the notes up as an individual slide. But actually, I think it's better talking about it while on the screen so you can kind of see it as you go along. Otherwise, you may forget what's in it. And that's what I found. So I added them in the end to the clip where I'm talking about the note breakdown because yeah, it's a bit more genuine then, and it just flows a little bit better. This just wastes time. So you would have just seen ChatGPT basically did a note breakdown for me, just sort of talking about shirt needs an iron, doesn't it? The heart and then the base note. Just want to mention, it says it's called Oud 24 Hours, and like ChatGPT says,
oud is not prominent in it. I don't even notice it. I've had oud fragrances before. I think I know what that note is. And yeah, I can't notice it, so don't worry too much about the name. This name might put you off, but it is essentially a clone of Black Orchid. If you haven't smelled that,
I like my hand movements,
my
don't
opinion,
I?
I don't
I
look
also do
too much
know.
at fragrance notes.
I also know I do say the same thing, like I said, or as I said, or again, I say it all the time, or okay then, let's do this. I'm fully aware I've got plenty of mannerisms. I try and cut them out, crop them out at times, but it just takes too long.
I don't really look at it too much because, again, I find it very subjective anyway, and what these things smell like. Everyone has their own opinion. To me, in my opinion, this smells like dark chocolate with floral sort of note in the background. I don't know if that's patchouli or
He knows what he's talking about.
Like a dark floral fragrance. That sense, floral tends to be more feminine, but this is definitely unisex. I said leans feminine, but I'm more than comfortable wearing it. I don't think it's a fragrance for younger people. I don't think if you're
anyone else though not really like watching and listening to themselves. I mean, I've got used to it in recent times, but it's like if I was on TV doing a darts tournament, or if I was a professional darts player, I would never watch my games back because I wouldn't want to see myself. If that makes sense. It's a little bit like that with this.
Macho man, you may potentially want it, that alpha male that lifts the heaviest weights at the gym. But if you're somebody who wants to dress like in a shirt,
smile,
like
Harry, loosen up. You're so stiff.
I really do. I think it does absolutely that job. So yeah, just really a couple of considerations there. And as I said, that's my.
I know I waffle on as well. So for those of you that do get to the end of these videos, thank you so much because I'm even bored of listening to myself at times.
Yeah, definitely for me, chocolate and floral notes really kick through.
$14.99. There's the deodorant I was on about, by the way.
Super hot this morning. Storms are forecast.
Oh, it's frozen again. One, it is frozen though. What I'm going to say is I do miss those days of it being really hot because now it's really, really cold. But obviously, nothing changes. There's always storms, isn't there? Right, it is back. This is a second-hand computer, by the way, and yeah, it's starting to show signs of being a second-hand computer.
I absolutely do. I think anything for me under £20 is safe to blind buy.
I say so.
Obviously, if you're watching this and considering buying it, you've seen there's some really weird notes, things that you wouldn't necessarily think would go together. Some dark chocolate, mandarin orange, patchouli, they're awful.
Something else I better add quickly, and I'm sure you want to watch this. Some of you probably have picked up some of these fitness trends reviews in recent times and subscribed. And yeah, definitely worth checking this one out. Well, you don't need to now, but yeah, thank you for those that have watched these since the start. But if you haven't seen this one, I hope you're liking it. This is on my old phone, so it's a little bit more blurry. And of course, I am aware that YouTube videos should be on more of a landscape, not portrait thing. The issue is running. It's very hard to hold a phone like that while running. So I've kind of kept it portrait, which I hope is okay for people. But yeah, let me know if you'd rather me do it in landscape. I'm sure I can work a few things out.
A mix of floral, citrus, and those sort of sweeter winter notes. And again, I think if you're looking for something that's quite different from what you'd expect in that price range, this is the one. As I say, I mean, normally when you get cheap fragrances, they tend to kind of just be one dominant thing. It's quite fresh, quite synthetic. I think this will just give you that extra.
Like a broken record, don't I? I say this all the time.
Price, as you know, the note breakdown. So yeah, I think the price is fantastic. It's definitely worth that. And I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10 for that reason. But I think it's safe to blind buy. But if you've got that knowledge already.
Now I've done a few more, I would probably say, been in a good mood lately. I'd probably actually say this is a 9 out of 10. I think it's really good value for money. And even just spraying it a minute ago reminds me how nice it is. Probably doing it while on a run though in a hot summer's day. Probably wasn't so much in the mood for it. So still a good score though, isn't it?
It's one of the most complex phrases I know for that price range. Anyway, on to
that's true. I'm going to guess I gave it a 6.
So how adaptable is it to seasons, occasions? Is it unisex? All those things. So just touching on again, as I said, the note profile is very, very mixed between sweet, fresh, floral, and that does make it versatile.
I'm thinking on the spot here.
It's more sort of suited towards women. However, you can put it off as a man. but I don't think it's going to be mass pleasing for a lot of them. I don't think it's that sort of soap they will be looking for. But I think it.
So again, when I do these as well, I have no script. I literally just click record and talk. So yeah, you can probably tell sometimes, even with this one, I'm almost like trying to think on the spot, and it's not that easy while exercising. I can be honest, that's the hardest bit, as I'm quite worn out as it is. And that's why I sound like I'm waffling on. I'm fully aware I waffle. I try and keep each clip sort of under 3 minutes, so it's not too boring. And when I watch them back, sometimes I'm at the gym when I do my editing. Honestly, I don't even know what I've said half the time. I get to the end of the clip and I think, was that all right? And then I have to listen to it back. And then I'm distracted by something else. It takes me ages. So I'm normally at the gym for about an hour and a half just doing the editing on the treadmill.
It's absolutely unisex, I really do. It's like a dark floral chocolate smell. That's all I can really say. I think those florals make it seem certainly more feminine. You can really smell them.
And that's one of the worst things as well, by the way. Cars going by, so annoying. Or people going by and listening, thinking, "What are you up to?" And then I kind of lose my train of thought. I have to redo the clips again. I'm going to try and save a few at some point as well, so you can see some of my bloopers. But there's not too many bad ones, I promise. Just sometimes I lose my train of thought and waffle on about something that's not relevant, like I'm probably doing now.
So, if you're a man who likes floral scents, it's absolutely fine. And those darker, sweeter notes which you get in this, they mean that you can wear it in different seasons. I think the best time to wear this is undoubtedly in transition seasons. So spring,
I wear this
fall.
in spring. I don't think.
Yeah, it's one of
Changed
those
my mind.
It's not too heavy, but I don't think it's going to cut
More
through
fall,
cold or really survive.
colder days.
It could become a little bit cloying as well in that sort of really hot weather that we've had. But you could certainly dress it up. Job interview, like I said on ChatGPT yesterday, be perfect for that.
It wouldn't. I wouldn't wear this to a job interview. It's too much. It's too complex.
It's just going to smell really different. I don't think this is a youthful.
It's quite funny how my opinions changed. I don't think that's because of smelling more fragrances. I just think it's probably just the change in season. It's cold and windy now. And obviously, it was hot and stormy at that time. But I wouldn't wear this to a job interview, as I was just saying. I think it's too. It's an amazing fragrance with a lot going on. As we said, gourmand notes, floral notes, bit of citrus in there with the orange. But it's not. It's too confusing. It's too much. I think it would distract me in a bad way rather than a good way. And the one I obviously wore to a job interview in recent times was Fico di Amalfi. Lovely, fruity, a little bit more inviting. This is a bit more dark, a bit more mysterious. I think that's not really what I want for an interview.
So I think if you're under 20, you're just getting into fragrances, this isn't for you. Or if you just casually just want something to smell nice, absolutely not. But if you're someone who's really trying to go a little bit out there, try and be a bit different, this is the one. Now, of course, I'm wearing it running today. And
I'm so stiff, aren't I? It's so weird watching myself back, just talking like a robot. Not saying I'm much better now, but at least I smile a bit more and give a bit more emotion.
Job interview, job just office space. It's a little trick.
It's waffling on this, Kylie. Boring. Come on.
8 out of 10. I'm being generous this morning.
That's very, very fair. Honestly, versatility for me, 6 out of 10. I think that's far too high. It's definitely not an 8 out of 10. I didn't even realise I still did this at the time. This computer's rubbish.
Managed to 11.5 miles this morning. I surprised myself. I ended up going a bit further out than I thought, and yeah, it was further than I expected, so all good. Anyway, projection is the next one I want to look at. So, how did it project on my run?
Look how blurry my old phone is. It's terrible, isn't it? Oh, it's frozen again. Why does it keep freezing?
5 miles, so 10.5 miles in.
Let's hope it works this
on a
time.
coat that's not like fabric that soaks in. That's not bad at all. Very impressed with that. You would have just seen I've sprayed upstairs. So I've done a room spray test.
Can someone get me a new computer for Christmas? Right, I've gone onto YouTube now.
See if it's fitting the room. So I kind of again want to see how it projects. If you're wearing a lot of it and you're sitting in an office all day, or even at home, someone walks in, would they notice it? So yeah, I did 20 sprays. It just be interested to see if I can
20.
smell it.
I only do 10 now. Not made of money.
Yeah, let's see if it can last, fill the air for those 10 minutes. Time to go upstairs and see if I can still smell it in my room. Here we go. Wow. Do you know, that is a lot stronger than I thought it was going to be.
I remember this one surprising me.
This one, but that has certainly filled the room. Now, of course, I've sprayed quite a lot. I appreciate that. But
yeah, 20 times. I think if you did 10 times on this, it wouldn't be anywhere near as strong. But yeah, there we go. Lighting keeps going a bit, doesn't it? Here doesn't like me.
I think that
moving.
Surprised me. I didn't think it'd be that strong. So I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for that because it's honest. It's not too in your face. Right. Again, I think the scent is quite different for a lot of people, but yeah, I can't give it a 10. It's not really it's not like absolutely filled the room. That's probably a good thing, but yeah, 8 out of 10 for that. That's strong, but it's not overpowering. It's not going to choke anyone out, and it's very pleasant. So yeah, it's doing well. This right. Time to head to the gym now. While I walk down there, I'm going to talk about complement factor, sort of the scent just a little bit more, but obviously I know I've talked about that already. But yeah.
So I've done about 40 odd of these videos. It's actually still pretty similar to how I've done them. So yeah, if anyone does want to change the temp on them, let me know, because obviously I just go on my own sort of routine. If there's a different category you'd like me to do or a different test, let me know in the comments and we can always do that next year.
And she's complement factor and experiences I've had with it.
I'm going to guess I gave this about a 6 out of 10. It's a bit of a funny one for confidence. It's a bit Marmite. Might love it, might hate it.
It becomes just the scent in general. So we've touched on the fact it's quite a unique scent, like a dark floral. I'll be honest, I've had this fragrance a few times. I think I probably first had it about 6-7 years ago. I've never worn it for confidence. I think it's too mysterious for that. I think when you look at what
it's too mysterious for me.
Is, yeah. You know, in the past 1 million, Victor's, all those ones, they're quite safe scents, and safe and clean, I think, is always going to be the best compliments. This is
copy and paste.
This is very.
I am fully aware, by the way, that I do repeat a lot of the things I say. You know, whether it's not versatile or compliment fact, you can't use it in many different situations or all those things. But of course, I try and say it's for anyone who starts watching them. It's kind of more for them as well. I always say about I'm going to do the first 2 categories on my run, for example. And I know most of you watch these know that, but obviously it's just in case anyone new starts watching them. Just want them to get a general vibe of the video.
Like someone who wants to be a bit mysterious, I think, a little bit different from the rest, and almost it's more one of those ones which you go, what is that? That's sort of intriguing, rather than going, well, you smell really nice. It doesn't do that for me, so I'll probably say that.
It is nice, though.
It's not one for the sort of compliment. What I would say in terms of, if you get any today, obviously, Jim, I'll mention it because I've got it in the bag. I'd probably say.
I've got something to tell you about that.
That's never really mentioned this well, because I don't tend to choose it. This is the thing. If I'm going out for I wouldn't wear it. Probably my mum. My mum ended up buying it. She goes, well, that's really nice. I bought my mum it. And then obviously she bought it for herself first name. But do I really want someone, a woman, to smell it? Go, that's really nice. I want to buy it. I don't think I really do in general. So.
See, at the time I sort of thought that's true, but actually I disagree now, because I think if I saw a woman wearing tobacco vanille, which of course I know is an expensive one, but it's another Tom Ford, and if they did a clone of that for this, then, well, there is Tom Ford clones. I think it's called Kajal Facial Luxury Fragrances. I've had Fabulous by Tom Ford by them. I don't mind if a woman smells of tobacco vanille or lost cherry or any of those, so kind of half disagree with what I said there.
Yeah, as I said, it's very pleasant. I think it's definitely got that signature scent about it because it's different. But because it's different, it's not one of those compliment factor fragrances. Not to say you won't get them though. As I said, it's certainly not unpleasant or really harsh or anything like that. But yeah, I've just seen.
The other thing I've just noticed, well, obviously I'm wearing my big headphones there, which are right in front of me, by the way. I don't wear them very much now, because ever since I've got these new glasses, it really hurts the back of my ear. It really digs in. So that's why you see me wearing these ones that are on charge instead of the Minute. And they're a little bit safer as well. They're the ones that you're actually allowed to wear in running races. You're not allowed to wear big headphones like that, because these don't go in your ear. They say you can hear a bit more around you. To be honest with you, I can't. If you listen to things loud enough, it doesn't matter whether they're in or out your ear, you still can't hear cars. You've got to be really, really careful.
It's more one that would intrigue people rather than, you instantly go, oh, that's lovely. I think it's one that you'd always have to build that love for it. So I'm going to give it a 5.5 in that sense. I don't think it really is a
That's harsh.
compliment fragrance, albeit very nice.
I think 6 or 7 would be fair for this. I think it's better than that. I think 6 or 7. I really do. But again, summer day, that's probably why. Now, this is not what I do anymore. As you can see, I've sprayed myself at the gym. What I do now on my videos, I give it about 3 hours to test longevity. This would have only been about an hour and a half after I applied the fragrance again, so of course it's going to be a bit stronger. But the main reason I stopped doing that, by the way, I'm just going to quickly show you. Because I walk with this giant rucksack, and it's basically completely ripped here. So where my hand's going in, that is not a pocket, that is a huge rip. And that's because I had too many heavy fragrances in it. So that's why I stopped doing it. That's why I stopped spraying at the gym. Just because the fragrances were breaking the bag. I have got a new bag, so I could technically do that again. But I think it's better to give it a few hours for longevity. Apply it before I walk to the gym, then do my workout, then have a shower. You're getting a better reflection of longevity, not after an hour and a half where, where it's a little bit colder now. I'm only walking on a treadmill, so you don't get too hot at times.
Right, time to see if I get any compliments.
That's a toilet, by the way. I miss those trainers. They had it though. They were about 12 years old.
Right, so I've got no compliments, but I can still smell it. So its performance, it's one that doesn't really kick off. I know I've had some sort of projection from a run this morning, but it's not really strong like that. It's more something that just lingers on close, but it's done really well.
No wonder it's done well. Sprayed 20 times. And again.
It's got to survive the shower test. It's the time for a shower.
Obviously, the amount of times I've walked to the shower, someone's come in, they're probably thinking, why am I filming it?
Put long sleeves on, so I had to roll them up so I can smell.
And the amount of people that look at me, so obviously you can see there's a car park there from the gym. The amount of people that I notice are actually sitting in the car, normally waiting for someone to pick up because there's a school there. They're probably thinking, why am I filming myself and stiffing my arms? I'm sure people in the gym think that as well, but they've probably got used to me by now because I'm there so often. Go 5 days a week.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I can't smell it. I can just smell the shower gel I put on.
See, I'm quite surprised at that.
It hasn't performed that well, but in a weird...
We might have to do this one again then at some point. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Maybe if that could be a new video concept idea. I'm going to do that at some point. I'm going to pick a fragrance that I've reviewed before and just see what different score I get. I'm not going to watch the video before. I'm just going to know whether I've done it because I remember. Just see if I give a different score and different opinion. It'd be quite interesting. Then maybe we do one of these sort of videos and I'll watch them back and just compare and contrast. That's on the list to do, you see. I come up with all these ideas when I'm in bed normally.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm quite glad it hasn't survived the shower, because this is one of those that I think if it was really strong based on its scent, I think it'd be really overpowering.
I haven't smiled in this once,
it's
have I?
It's one of them that just sort of lingers on your clothes. It's there, and you'll just get the odd waft of it without it ever really being overpowering. I think that's absolutely perfect. I think that's what you want. But yeah, I think if you're wearing it in a warm sort of climate, warmer day, you might want to take it with you to work and reapply. And I've just sprayed my jumper actually as well. And
the deodorant's
yeah,
good. I actually think that's one good thing. If you get the deodorant, you can definitely slip that in your bag and it wouldn't break your bag like that. This is quite a hefty bottle though, by the way, so I certainly wouldn't take this one. But you can get these in 50 mils on eBay. It doesn't look like this bottle, but that's what I did for my mum. So potentially if you did want to get this fragrance and you want to, one for home, one in your bag, that's what I'd recommend. But yeah, they're so cheap anyway. I'd just buy the 100ml and get the deodorant with it.
It's one of those, you might just want to do a little top up. I mean, if you've got the Black Orchid and you took this to work, it would certainly be more than fine to top up the actual original fragrance without noticing any real difference in scent, because it's really close as a club. It's really good.
It is very
so
good.
I'm going to say for sort of its
I'll say
longevity, because
6.5
that's an
then.
argument
But I
over,
think
does it pass
it'd
over
be an
your
8 normally.
skin? But considering I've said
I'm
it,
going to
I
say
don't want it to be too
6.5.
strong.
Okay, come on, Harry.
Let's go 7 out of 10. I think that's fair.
Close.
Yeah, so now it's time to add all the scores up and give my final verdict.
Didn't give much analysis after that, did I? I was just like, give it 7 out of 10. Time to count up all the scores.
Why, or if I think why, you should buy it.
Final consideration. See, I don't call them that now. I think I put total score and overall force because my keyboard literally knows exactly what I'm going to type. So I just keep the same thing these days. If I type in like round 1, it instantly the first thing that comes up after it is price/value for money. Just saves me a bit of time.
Okay, so we're back in the room, so we're back now to real time.
I quite like that. I quite like how I did it. Sort of, the run's done. We're going to watch it back and then go back to real time. I honestly don't remember doing that. Obviously now I just do it when I wake up in the morning and just film as I go along. But I might go back to that. We'll see.
Yeah, I've done a lot of exercise, as you know, today from what you've just seen, and I've really enjoyed wearing it. I'd say it's not a fitness favourite. It's not something you'd wear to the gym as a standard gym set at all, but I just wanted to kind of use it today because I don't wear it very often. It's not one I tend to reach for. But I just want to give a couple of considerations very, very quickly before I give my overall score and my verdict. Yeah, one thing is I think the presentation of the bottle is really lovely. It's not something I worry about, but
I do agree. As I said, I'm not too worried about presentation of bottles, but I have to say a lot of these Middle Eastern fragrances, they put a lot of effort in, and obviously, barring the fact the lid's actually broken now, I quite like the rubber bit on this lid. Yeah, it's very nice, but I just like the bottle in general, and I think it gives the exact vibe of what the fragrance smells like. That sort of dark floral type scent and a little bit mysterious, and that reflects it. Only annoyance is you can't see the juice in it, so you don't know how much is left. You just have to give it a shake and just hear. I think there's quite a bit left in there still.
I know some people do.
I'll wet that soon.
I actually really like it's got like a rubber lid to it. And yeah, it's just
Didn't even
quite
know
a
that
nice
was
feel.
coming.
It's a nice feel. And the atomizer sprays really well. It's really, really nice. And one thing I like, now it's choking me out, is this bit here. Now I don't know what you call this on the atomizer, but this bit here I find really stops these fragrances from leaking. When you get cheap fragrances, they don't tend to have this
It's
bit.
good. It's really nice.
I'll just show you one of mine that I've got that is a cheap one, doesn't have that part on the atomizer.
See my bottom now, but yeah, this is me in a nutshell. Honestly, I don't plan these things, as I said, so I've already now got up thinking, I can't find the fragrance I want. So yeah, plan ahead is probably a good idea, but I like to do things just natural because that's the best way. I don't want things to be too sanitised. I want it to be just genuinely me just filming myself like this.
This is another clone fragrance, and this is from the Estel. Really lovely fragrance.
I've just reviewed this one, by the way.
Yeah, they just feel a little bit more cheaply made, these bottles. Whereas this one, it feels like there's real care that's been put into it. It's got, quite a nice indentation, and again, for an odor part of them, that performs pretty well. And it isn't expensive. I think overall that is a really, really nice looking bottle. And yeah, performs well in terms of its spray. You'll certainly get enough projecting out of the atomizer. So yeah, just a couple of things to consider if anyone is interested.
I want to know the score. What did it get?
Sometimes I am influenced by what the bottle looks like because I do blind buy a lot of fragrances. So yeah, very happy with that. I think it's really sleek.
Right, I think it's going to be about 39.
Okay, so the overall score based on the 5 rounds that we did, so things like price, versatility, compliment factor, projection, longevity, 37 out of 50. I think that's pretty good. I have to say, I think that's pretty good. And I suppose, ultimately,
I don't know what I'd give it now. It'd probably be much the same, just different scores.
I really do. I think
per category.
Always be the value for money. Now, would I recommend you buy it? Now, this is the thing. You've got this far in the video.
Now, personally, I wouldn't unless you know the smell because it's very unique, but it's a love or hate. I mean, for the price, of course, you can't really go wrong, but I still think if you spent £15 on anything and then you don't like it, you feel a bit ripped off, especially if you keep doing that. It would add up. So I'd probably say no, I don't recommend you blind buying it.
Yeah, I think you've probably got a bit of an interest in fragrances. Now, if you're someone who just wants a mass-pleasing scent and, you're just after compliments, probably wouldn't go for this if I'm really being honest. If you're a younger person, I just don't think it's that sort of fragrance. I think it's one that you've got to like, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I bought this fragrance for me. I've had it a couple of times, as I said, and I bought it again purely for me because I quite like that uniqueness of the scent. So something that's a little bit more mysterious, a little bit more unique, and you know, have a real interest in fragrances, or you really want to grow an interest in fragrances. This is great. And if you're someone who knows what Tom Ford Black Orchid is, and you just want like a fragrance that can top up that smell through the day, this will do it. The quality of it is fantastic, and you could definitely have this as a signature scent. You could definitely wear this to job interview, wedding.
I don't agree with that. Job interview or wedding. I just think it's. I don't know. Not for me. Not for me. I've changed my mind on that. I think there's more classy, more expensive fragrance. And again, I go back to this is kind of a clone. I think a clone of a Tom Ford or a clone of an Aqua de Palma would be more suited to job interviews, and you're paying similar price to this. Just my opinion though. Of course, it's all subjective. You can wear whatever you want for those things. If you want to wear this to a job interview or a wedding, go ahead. It's completely up to you. And again, it depends what you're wearing. It depends what you're going for. It depends so many factors. Your own personality.
Of this scent, as I said, it doesn't really.
I always say, as I said. I'm fully aware I say, as I said, a lot.
It's absolutely fine, and its longevity, as I said, it'll be there all day in that scent.
And again,
and I think if it was really strong, based on its note profile with all the dark chocolate, the orange, the floral notes in particular, I think it'd be too much anyway. So I think it's very good that it's not a really strong performer. But as I said, if someone gets close to you, they will notice it, and I think you will get compliments. However, I don't think it's one of those traditional compliment getters. So, in that being said, would I recommend it for the price? Absolutely. I think it's a really nice fragrance, but it is unique. It's an acquired taste. But anyone who's a little bit mysterious,
I'm waffling, see here. This is where I have no script. I have no idea, no structure.
And as I said,
nothing's changed in that sense.
Have Tom Ford Black Orchid. I actually don't think you need it if you get this. I think that does more than enough for me anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this one today. Tomorrow,
Out of breath
it's going to be another dance video because I haven't done a practice last couple of days. I need to get back practicing.
Giving up the dance. There will
also be another fragrance video next week as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you later.
And there we go. I have to say, I'm really interested to watch that back and just see certain things that have changed. But obviously, at its heart, the fitness fragrance reviews are still the same. And I tend to sort of film about 4 or 5 each week. But it's interesting there. I said at the end, there'll be another fragrance video next week. Of course, I try and do one every day now just because it's a bit of a hobby that's got out of hand. Even on work days, I just try and film something. Keeps my mind busy, keeps me active, even if I'm not always being physically active. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know if this is something you'd like me to continue. I have actually myself downloaded some software which hopefully we can then do it a little bit more on camera at the same time rather than me leaning over. But also I've bought a little Astra thing for Christmas as well, so hopefully in the new year that might be used instead rather than a computer, but I'll keep that a secret for now just in case. Thank you very much for watching today. Thanks for watching along and I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll catch you later.